I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first.
Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 6th, Monday, 2025. Hope you had a good weekend, good day. So, lame day in a way, but took the sells here from the 930 and then did not make it to 50% or that midnight level. We already had an expansion going on since Friday opening to Sunday, and then gap with no liquidity, and then took out the new high pre-session. So you had an expansion. The retracement is obvious. They didn't do deep drives though. No news today, so you don't expect them to come deeper today. Or you do want them to come in here, but they're not going to do it for Nas. They did it for S&P. So and they didn't even seal it. So I don't think the bottom side's done, but super dirty and manipulation today. What are you going to do? Took the sell, tried to hold it down here, and then ended up having to get out here. Shouldn't be this high. And then you'll see the first imbalance of today. Ended up using it later. There. Dirty here. I even tried to catch this buy right here, and they'd snap me. I was like, bro, you guys are little bitches. This slow decision making today, just it is what it is. But they've already swept the Asia low for today, and then again dump pump, right? Made a new high, and they're pulling back in. Just tight ranges, just dirty. Nas didn't get the deeper retracement, so it is what it is, man. But what am I gonna say? Accumulated some buys here in the previous opening range gap here from Friday, and then we hit damn near the 2 standard deviation first. Came back in. If it's not no news, you're not going to generally see them at 10 o'clock expand to get this lows. If we had news like at 10 o'clock, for example, then that would be a better case for it to come. But again, they had an expansion down. You had lower high, two lower highs, a break. So over here on the 1 minute, you can see they put this low, and then 930 just immediately broke. It was already a break there, retracing. If you look here, this is on the fib, probably a 70 or whatever, and then made a 2 drives more down. That's good enough for your retracement in general, especially we are really bullish. But I know we're overextended, so using this range here, you can see like the body sitting in the in this 1 to 1.5, not getting into here. So dangled that carrot. Now when they had this wick and they dropped real quick and they bought it up, I was like, you motherfuckers. I knew better, but at the same time I was a little married to coming in here, so I held it. Once it passed that 25%, it was over with. I knew the trade wasn't no good, and these were buys. Obviously, you can see here we have, well, not obviously, but you can see we had the last little push down here, and then has that imbalance. Very high confluence for a switch, which when you come above here like this and retrace back, that's the next higher low on the expansion. So for example, just to make this like a little more simple, I'm gonna just draw the structure, and then this little back and forth movement. I won't get into the extra one, but it's fine. But this is generally, so right here, okay, it's like, all right, well, that was buy 1. I'm going to skip all this. This is consolidation. So consolidation, they raid here, and then it's a high and a higher low, and you see it start fanning up. So that's the same principle here. And then we have phases. This is pretty much buy 2. This is retracing, right? Slick. They don't, I don't think they grabbed that low. They fucking took me out right there, and then this is the next buy up here. So you can count it buy 2 or buy 3, and then pushed up for one more leg, right? So you can see we're kind of breaking that leg here, and then the second imbalance here ends up selling right from there in the power hour, as you see it. But again made a new high, right? So that's the thing. So it's very shallow for me to say, okay, well, this is going to be the buy for me. So that's why I'm getting a little married to coming down more, because this is just, hard to believe that this was the only retracement you're gonna do in the month. It's like get the fuck out of here. It's like you push the price all the way up like that with a nice swing in Asia and London, and then when New York happens, you're just stuck in this little range. It was just kind of bullshit. Barely even 100 points here for the move, but you ended up getting that move up. So it is what it is. I again don't feel comfortable buying here, but we're the 4-hour flip. So if you look on the 15-minute, you can see that this candle here, this 10:45, when that opens up, it's the swing. It's the right candle of the swing. So the third candle, and it expanded and closes up like this. And then it just kind of slithers up. But now the rest of the candles are expanding, and that was you had a raid here, and it was sufficient because you did have a breakout level. So you have imbalance. You have liquidity here. I'm sorry. Let me start with the liquidity here first. You have imbalance here with that breakout level. So they came and they smacked that, right? That was good enough. And then they wanted to come and pull and get this easy liquidity here, right? So done for the day early, but I also came back when I saw. So knowing that the trade failed here, I don't feel comfortable buying here, even though I know I should have. Because the expansion, I don't really know if it's going to happen. But then they come up to the 930. See how they sweep to the 930 like that? So that's on purpose, because I sold from this 930. I literally got filled right here when I sold it, right? But I sold it back into the first imbalance. I was still a little married to coming deeper, but I was like, okay. Then I tried to buy it here, right? I took the profit out, and then I tried to buy here, and they came down. And I was like, okay, no problem. I was like, I got you. I'm going to buy it here. So then this price comes down right here, okay? And I buy this. And then out of a split second, this 115 candle, wham, wicked me out. And then blink of an eye, the price was here. I was like, you fucking bastards. They got me. I was like, dude, are you serious? So in this process, there was a 15-second chart here. Even on a 5-second chart. I'm even going to show you the 5-second chart. What did I just do? Oh, minute. Just to show you, I was going to just buy, but just very slow decision making. By the time I wanted to make a decision, it was gone. That's that same area right here. This is a 5 second, so I'm going to show you a 5-second. So they came down real quick and got me. And then right here, this candle, and then this, boom, bounces. Look on the 15-second. Bounces on that first imbalance of today. And then we get this imbalance. This little imbalance right here with the gap. And then we dig in. And this is where I'm supposed to be buying. But at this point, I was like, I gave him the middle finger. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm good. Fuck this market. So it is what it is. And that's how my day just panned out. But point is that I tried to keep it simple as well. But just got greedy with the extra drive. And then when they did this and the closure in, it's a very high chance that it's going to reverse. But, it just looked too shallow for the buy. And plus this opening range, for the new week gap, no liquidity. Again, if you take a look at S&P, at least they came in and tapped it. And that's what I was looking for. But by the time this is called an algorithmic divergence. So Nas didn't do it, but Dow and S&P did. So if you take a look at obviously Dow, they blew right through it, even got to the sealment, and then went even lower for yesterday's low, right? And this is a case where I like Dow, right? Where it's like, just should have just traded Dow, but I don't trade Dow. So, but the logic is or S&P, and I don't trade S&P, and I don't want to trade S&P really, but hey, they why did they do that to Nas? Because they fucking know that we're all trading it, and we're all thirsty to buy. But that's why I was going against the grain. So, half of my power is being a contrarian, which is fine. But then, you can backfire by being, just not keeping it simple. The other half when I do good is when I also keep it simple. And in a simple case, I would have just, squeezed and bought. But the way they did me here and I couldn't get in, I left it alone, and then just my ego kicks in, trying to be right kicks in, and it's like, you know what? Well, I got out of the trade and profit, but it just still not the way I should have handled it. But hey, just a little comfortable on Monday, so I was just trying to hold the damn thing. But and was it realistic for it to just come straight to here? Well, no, but they should, and it could, and maybe double top. We're expecting seasonality wise in these first 5-6 days a high to be made and then a retrace. So we might be getting that now as delayed, or we didn't get it, and this we already got it, which was this high and this low here, right? So shakeout, speaker there. I wanted to come into a mean reversion possibly, but they just did it dirty, man. So when and the moral of the story is, when it's really, really, really bullish, be content with you had a retracement. So after a retracement, I expect an expansion and keep it simple. But I just it's Monday and a lot can happen in this week. So I'm pretty much sure the story of this is not done. But hey, you really don't know. I hope this is making sense for you. And then what's it called? Here's dollar and kind of coming down here, but staying down. But big gap for them too. We'll see. And then if dollar keeps pushing, I would expect us to kind of come back. But so far, this we've been calling this being higher lows holding, but now we're kind of stuck here. I should just clean this shit up. I don't really care per se. I don't trade forex or anything, so it's not really that serious. But I'll clean this up. But that imbalance right here, balance price range, and that imbalance right there, you can see it dipping in, and then we're pushing up. So we'll see what we end up doing there. But and then what's it called? We had some lower lows here with Nas, and then that's what the trick was to push us up, right? And this is where I saw saw this price action happening, but just kind of left it alone and married to the top side afterwards. I'm sorry, married to the bottom side before I end up saying, okay, well, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna flip the script and try to buy it. And these bitches, and they fucking got me. I swear on my mother, right here. I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. And then because when I have the price is here, is this a lower high to roll over? Yeah, possibly, but it shouldn't be this deep. Number one. Number two, should have just happened from here. Number three, definitely not once it gets here, right? Because now we're you can see you have clear direction here, right? So with the retrace and a pullback, just a consolidation and a little bit of a ray, but they don't take that low. Right? Yeah, they didn't take that low. Yeah. So by a hair, right? And then whatever. But you expect it to come to the liquidity to the left on the top side. So I tried to pull this one as a last resort to get this leg up. And then and I knew it wasn't much of a range, and that's the reason why it was like fuck this day. But at the same time, I was like, I got you. Let me just follow the protocol. And sure enough, they when they got me here, I was like, dude, get back in. And I just walked away. So it was just like, whatever. And I think that's pretty much it. There's not really much else to say. You had a nice little retrace with NVIDIA here, staying up there, though, at the same time. And VIX was coming down. So that is also, when you look at VIX, you'll see like on an hourly chart. I keep it generally on an hourly chart. We in the beginning of the day we pushed up, right? So that gave us our dump, but they immediately rejected and reversed, and VIX was coming down. So that means selling is not going to really happen for us, and generally speaking, we'll be pushing up if VIX is coming down, right? So, and that's what this leg is, right? There's nothing else to say there. And then what else can I say here? The swing here on this 1 hour here, you can see this 11 o'clock. So the 11 o'clock, so the 10 o'clock, we have 9 o'clock here, 10 o'clock here, and then boom, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock ends up just opening up and then an expansion. So that was the time to, probably turn around, even though it looks like it was going to start slithering down. And that's what I thought was going to happen. But once you see this and then the 11 o'clock is pushing up, well, obviously, if you look at 11 o'clock here, it's over here. We have the flow here already, but these are just wicks. This is just like the wick and then the body right here. pushing up. This is all body of 11 o'clock. So that's why I understand how to now take this trade up, right? So just real simple. It's real simple structure. It really was. I just didn't keep it as simple. So it's what it is. And now they want to. So, yeah. And then, of course, you have this, that all-time high from last week, right? So I didn't expect this to see this as a reversal, but it could have been. But then again, it was just simple retracement. So now we have a push up above last week's high, and where's the range going to come back in? It's going to get a little ugly. That's another reason why it's like to dial back a little bit. But if I was to move forward and tell you, general speaking, well, I mean, so speaker up top, speaker here, right? And then now they're kind of coming to that mean reversion little area, but let's see if we just get like maybe another drive up. It depends what Asia and London does. I would like to see something like this, and then push up. So again, it could do this first, depending on how they use this, and they bounce off of it. Because if I'm going back to seasonality, right? In seasonality reasons, we should have already, like where the time is now. Now I'm talking time, the 5th and the 6th. So this is the 3rd. We make a high on the, generally speaking, like the 5th or the 6th, and then we come back down. And we actually come down deep. We don't actually just come down simple like this. We actually come down like right back where the first was. So if you look at the first here, this is the 1st of October. We also have that first imbalance here. There's this level here. That's the PM session's first imbalance. This was a breakout level. We bounced on it. Basically coming right back to this breakout level. So people are making decisions based off of that. But if you look at the 15-year and the 30-year, they come back deep like this. So hey, it is what it is. And then they push up for the next 10 days. Actually, let me say it like this: we make a high in the 5th and the 6th, like we are doing now, and then we're supposed to sell off until about the 8th, 9th. And then once we do that, let's just say this is the 8th and 9th, and then we're supposed to now push up after that for the next 15 days. So I'm gonna just leave it like this. So it depends if they want to. This is really the question I'm saying: is it buying from right here where we are, or are we coming just like in this range here? Okay, and then so that or again deeper. They like to reference that first imbalance, but sometimes of the month, but sometimes they won't make it that far. But notice how we have this opening gap here with no price action, and then here's your PM session of Monday's first imbalance. So I mean, I'd like to at the least, because if they come this deep though, that's the thing. If they come this deep, then why not why not grab that guy, right? So hope this is making sense for you, but something else I wanted to say, but I gotta stop making videos long. 18 minutes. So, do they dangle this carrot? It really sucks. I'd rather just them get that over with, obviously, because I'll just be off balance when I'm trading. But little bitches getting in there now. So again, this is the leg up from this previous expansion. And in this expansion, it's just higher lows there, higher lows there, higher lows there, taking it to internal. And then this is now finally the expansion is done. Either that was going to be it, we're going to come up one more time, or we're going to even come up another time, right? But they have all right to now come right back in, and get into this area that I talked about originally. And then this held here. This could have been measured a couple different ways, but it's just kind of hard to do. Let me just measure that right quick, just to see what that looks like. Boom. So like the consecutive candles on this 1 minute, if you could see that, you know. So here's 3.5 to 4. I dig right into it here. Accumulation in the 1.5 right here. 2.5, well, whatever, one a little deeper. But and coincided with that. If you looked at it again, let me see if I can I do that. Oh shit. Right. So now, just constantly playing, not going any farther. Now, as far as this run goes, now, here let's go with this. See this real quick. Keeping it simple, man. And there's your well. You could do this whole swing. Notice how it'll be stuck in that 1 and 1.5. Come on. Ooh, missed it. No, it's not good here. Let's see this way here. Come on. Oh, no, not that helpful either. Again, sloppy price action as far as the time distortion goes. All this time here. This is cleaner right there. See that? This is the last move here before it really pushes up. You can see getting to the 2.5, and then the 3.5 to 4. Look at almost to the tick here. That makes more sense. This imbalance here, you're looking for it to, if you're buying, you're looking for it to hold, but you're also, when you're selling, I'm looking for this to sell off, and that's why I knew this was a wrap, and that's why you'll see us bouncing right back on top of it. But we have also confluence with that top 25% of the opening range gap too. So yeah, just that is what it is, and I think I'm done, right? So what else can I say? And let me see if this is This looks good to me. Kinda. Maybe measuring this. Again, I'm expecting some type of pushback. I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's super overextended. But even though I've been saying that, don't forget I've been saying about this level here, which would just keep getting closer, which was that 25,400 area. So 450, 400 to 450, maybe even 5, big figure. But you know, we're pushing still, and we're knocking. So it's like, you know, I'm assuming a big reaction here. If it, you know, whatever it does. And then obviously that daily imbalance, pop it in, and then on the swing side for the daily, that's the reason why this thing was gonna possibly still push up and stay pushed up, is because, you know, it wasn't an expansion stage, but on a daily, you know, we're definitely in one too. So could they have not made a new high? Sure, dude, you know, they really could have. But let me see here. Look at the body sitting at 2.5 right here. So popped it back down. Again, expansion phase, and we're pretty much in that. But we had a nice retracement and expansion. So here's another retracement at the moment. You know, so if you're gonna see it pop up again, then sure enough, it should turn around somewhere here. We'll see some liquidity here. You just got these guys. So kind of a funky spot. If that makes sense. You guys take care. God bless.